Transforming objects. You can transform the object you have created on the stage or imported from other locations to the stage. You can move, rotate, or change its shape and size. If a gradient was applied to the object, you can even change the gradient in various ways. Free Transform Tool. The Free Transform tool is used to move, rotate, or scale an object. To scale an object means to increase or decrease its size. Let us understand how to use this tool with an example. First, draw a figure on stage or import a picture. Second, select the object and click the Free Transform tool. Third, as you move the pointer over different parts of the selection, it changes to indicate which transformation function is available. Moving an object. To move an object, select it and hover the mouse pointer over it so that the pointer changes to a cross. Drag the object to a new position, holding or pressing the left mouse button. Rotating an object. To rotate the selected object, position the pointer over one of the 4 corner handles. When the pointer changes to a curved arrow, click and drag to rotate the object to a certain degree. Scaling an object. To scale the selected object in 2 dimensions, drag a corner handle diagonally. To scale the object in a single direction, drag one of the side handles in the desired direction. Gradient Transform tool. You can also transform the gradient already applied to an object by adjusting its size, direction, or center. To modify the gradient fill of an object, first select the Gradient Transform tool, then click on the object that is filled with the gradient. Linear gradient. An object filled with a linear gradient looks as shown alongside. Notice the boundary around the object. The line on the right has a rotation handle at the top and a width adjustment handle in the middle. Given below are the steps to transform the gradient. You can change the position of center point of the gradient fill by clicking and dragging it. You will be able to drag the point only after the cursor changes to a 4-arrow cursor pointing left and right, up and down. Bring the cursor to the circular handle at the center point for this to happen. To change the width of the gradient fill, drag the width adjustment handle to the left or right. Note that only the gradient is resized, not the object. To rotate the gradient fill, drag the rotation handle clockwise or anti-clockwise. Radial gradient. When an object filled with radial gradient is selected, it appears in the way as shown in the picture. Notice the ellipse around the object. You can reposition the center point by dragging it to adjust the center of the gradient. You can also drag the adjustment handles to change the size or radius of the gradient. Changing color or transparency of an instance. You already know how to convert a drawing into a symbol and store it in a folder called Library. Instance is an occurrence of a symbol. Each time you insert a symbol in a movie, you create an instance of that symbol. To modify the color properties of a particular instance or change its brightness or transparency, follow these steps. First, select an instance of the symbol using the Selection arrow tool. Second, click the drop-down menu arrow of Color in the Property Inspector window, choose Tint and specify the desired percentage. A higher percentage gives a lighter tone of the color and a lower percentage gives a darker tone of the color. Third, to change the transparency of the instance, click the drop-down menu arrow of Color, choose Alpha and specify the percentage of the Property Inspector window. For example, if you set it at 44%, the instance will look as shown in the screen. Grouping outlines and fills. When an object is drawn and color is filled, Flash creates 2 objects. One is the outline and the other is the fill. To move the object to a new position, you need to select both, the fill and the outline. If you do not select both, only the selected part will move. However, you can group the outline with the fill to make them into a single object. To group the outline and the fill, follow these steps. First, using the arrow tool, select both the outline and the fill. Second, select Modify, Group.